Did you hear the Prussians are coming? In the arms race of the Levant, the warforgers of Tartarus and the infernal weaponsmiths of Dis have stayed one step ahead of the technological advancements of the faithful. The armoured columns of the Heretic Legions churn up the land with heavily armoured tanks, crushing the faithful under their treads. Across the Levant, infernal automata and heretical constructs lay waste to the warbands of the faithful, from the monstrous warwolves to the barrages of the artillery witches. Nothing is safe from the heretical artificial creatures of Hell's forces. Marbas is credited with guiding Hell's warforgers to the invention of the world's first modern submarines in 1866, and with those, the heretic navy caused terror on the high seas. In the more personal close-quarters fighting of the trenches, the machine guns of the heretics mowed down the faithful, while the titanic artillery, like the 666 feet long mouth of hell, blast the landscape to cratered rubble. Perhaps the most blasphemous of the Heretic Legion's weapons are the sacrilege type tank mortars, firing blasphemous shells to unleash the reversed words of creation spoken by God. These hellish munitions unmake their unfortunate targets layer by layer. The ammunition is specially designed to undo the work of the divine and peel away skin, rend away the nervous system, and strip flesh and internal organs away to bring agonizing death. These siege tanks will tear holes in reality to blast apart the defences from walls to bunkers to pillboxes and trenches. However, in order to fire these reality-warping cannons, the sacrilege tanks are slow to fire due to the aiming difficulties of the mortars, causing the tanks to be ponderous in their movements when bringing their guns to bear. However, though the heretics lead them in the technological advancement, the faithful are not without their own devastating weaponry and ingenuity. For the faithful in Trench Crusade, faith is as much the mother of invention as necessity. Emerging from the inventors of Prussia, a counter to these armoured columns comes in the form of such battlefield innovations as the anti-material rifles. But when a more close-quarters answer to these threats is needed, the faithful turn to the devastating tank-splitter swords of the Gardekorps. These swords are designed to disable or destroy the heavy armour of tanks and war machines. Forged with their edges coated with an orichalcum and titanium alloy by the Prussian Institute of Metallurgy, these near-nanomolecular blades rend open tanks with ease. The Gardekorps attack in lightning-fast raids to slice open the vehicle tracks and disable them, before the rest of their squad reduces the tank to a smouldering husk with incendiary grenades. During these assaults, the Gardekorps must act fast. As wise to their tactics, the heretics respond with elite soldiers of their own. These heretic elite compete with one another to capture rather than kill the specialist stormtrooper. When captured, these members of the Gardekorps are dragged back to the slave markets for sale to the agents of the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent, after which they will be punished for their audacity. Far from the monarchies and theocracies of other nations, the citizens of Free Prussia are ruled by democratically elected officials. Each citizen is free to vote on a representative to speak for them in the Landtag and decide on state affairs. Despite this, the nobility of the Free-state of Prussia still hold much power, with familial ties as far back as the Teutonic orders who first founded the state. These nobles are from a military pedigree, with family tradition and vast wealth able to secure them an officer's commission. These nobles will often go to war in a personalised, handcrafted panoply of war, and for some, this will be maintained by their personal armourer. You would do wise, however, not to let their bombastic nature and pomp and circumstance fool you. These fierce warriors are far from the privileged children of wealthy nobles who have bought their safety far from the front in the officers' ranks. These battle-hardened nobles will lead the charge, given the privilege of joining any unit they wish, with some even taking up the tank splitter of the Gardekorps. So with this, into the Trench Crusade march the armies of Prussia. However, they are in the concept stages at the moment, and it may be a while before we see them released for the tabletop. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you're excited to see the Swords of the Gardekorps on the battlefield. If you'd like to learn more about the lore of Trench Crusade, please like and subscribe and click the link to your right to discover more about the fledgling setting. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon.